So college is going to be fun next year, right? So for those of you who don't know, which is all of you, I'm a college student, and recently my college just sent out a couple emails regarding what's going to be happening next semester. And oh boy, is it not fun! So obviously, any college's first responsibility is to the health and well-being of their students, and for that, I understand a lot of what my college is doing. But still, it is a very harsh reality to see it all laid out like this, and I just wanted to share with you guys what college students are going to be expecting next year. So the first email started off with some really good news. It told us that we will be returning to campus, which we did not know whether that was happening or not. And so that was really nice to see. It did have a warning saying that the semester will differ in many ways, which I did not realize the extent to which that was going to be the case, but it was still good news. The email then went on to talk about COVID specific related things, telling us that all the students, when they arrive to campus, will have to consent to a COVID test, and anybody found positive or anyone that was in contact with someone that was found positive will have to be isolated and quarantined for 2 weeks, which is standard. And, all of this makes sense and it's what you got to do, but it just really sucks because a lot of college students have not gotten tested and a lot of students don't know whether they have it. And I feel like it's going to be a very rude awakening for a lot of people coming right back to campus, being excited, and then immediately getting quarantined. Most colleges are moving to a more compressed schedule in order to reduce the amount of time that students are on campus. And they're doing this by doing several things, like completely removing fall breaks, by adding weekend classes, and by making final exams remote so that students won't be on campus to take them. And a lot of this makes sense. It reduces the amount of travel to and from campus. It reduces the chance of spreading COVID, but it is also greatly going to increase the stress put on college students, and a lot of students are probably going to get burnt out this semester. One thing to consider is that some students can't, and some students won't want to go to a campus next semester for classes. And because of this, colleges and college professors are going to have to structure their classes such that they accommodate for people both in the classroom and for people out of the classroom that are coming into the classes remotely. And that's going to result in some pretty interesting dynamics that I don't think college professors have ever had to deal with, and it seems that most professors are still working out the details for that. Additionally, for those who are wondering, face masks will be required at most, if not all, universities and colleges. And I don't think that will spark much controversy.
That man harassed me for not wearing a mask. I have a breathing problem.
And they want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door.
I work for Costco and I'm asking this member to put on a mask because that is our company policy. So either wear the mask
and I'm not doing it because I woke up in a free country.
But I know some people are going to be mad about it. So most colleges and universities are going to have to completely do away with 3-person and 4-person dorms in order to accommodate for their state social distancing laws. And this obviously is going to greatly reduce the capacity that the college has to house students. And because of this, a lot of students all over the world have no idea where they're living next semester. And in order to accommodate for this, colleges are building modular housing. And who knows what these modular houses are going to look like because they only have 2 months to build them. Obviously, dining halls are going to be nearly unrecognizable to students in order to accommodate for COVID. Most colleges are greatly reducing the capacity in dining halls. They are eliminating buffet-style food, and they're eliminating stations where students can take the food themselves, which was most of the stations in a dining hall. And they're also greatly encouraging students to take the food to go to reduce the amount of social contact people have. Obviously, dining halls are one of the main places on campus where students go to socialize and unwind, and this sort of system is, while necessary, is greatly going to impact the social life on campus. Speaking of social life on campus, there really isn't going to be any this semester. Most colleges are opting for a cohort system, where the people you are allowed to socialize with and do activities with are mainly just the people who live close to you within your dorm. And you're not really supposed to interact with people outside of your cohort. And this is the safest thing, and it's fine if you're able to be surrounded by your friends, but for people that are not able to secure housing that's close to their friends, or for freshmen that don't have any friends yet and maybe don't like the people they're placed with, it's going to be a pretty rough time. In addition to this cohort system, most colleges and universities are putting forth further safety precautions, such as limiting how many people you're allowed to hang out with, limiting how long you're allowed to be with people, and limiting where you're allowed to go. Additionally, campus-wide events and college-sponsored activities are going to be extremely hard to do under the circumstances, and so you would greatly expect to see those either completely eliminated or severely reduced. One outlier in this sea of safety and health precautions is college sports. And no one's surprised about this because it's the NCAA, and the NCAA isn't going to risk losing money over anything, let alone a pandemic. But college sports are still happening, which is going to result in a lot of interstate travel, a lot of people being in close contact with each other, and yeah, So yeah, that's about it. College is going to be very different this year. It's going to be very weird for everyone, but especially people like freshmen whose first college experience is going to be very isolated. It's going to be very different for international students who are going to have to deal with much more rigorous testing protocols. It's going to be a very different type of academic setting. Like I said, a college needs to consider the health of their students before anything else. And so, even though a lot of this is scary and very different, I do think that most of it is necessary in order for us to safely go back to college. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is too much? Do you think it's too little? Do you think that people shouldn't be going back to college at all this semester? What do you think about all this? Obviously, it's going to be very interesting to see how this semester unfolds, both from a personal standpoint and from a global standpoint. But that's about it. Thank you so much for watching.